black and gold fans, college football fans, welcome in or welcome back to the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog, where we examine, discuss, honor, and celebrate all things college football across the entire college football landscape, but with a very special emphasis on our beloved black and gold squads of the Missouri Tigers and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Welcome back, guys, to the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. I'm your usual host, Blair Parks. It's great to be back here with you once again. I hope you had a great weekend. It was safe, enjoyable, exciting, fun, and hopefully you were able to enjoy championship weekend for everything it was. Or if you were on the losing end, your team, unfortunately, everything that it was not. Ugh. But anyway, guys, this is my reaction and recap to the official college football playoff field, which was revealed yesterday afternoon, and my reaction and recap to conference championship weekend as a whole. And wow, what a great weekend it was. I want to express my congratulations to the college football playoff field and every one of you conference champions. Congratulations, you deserve it. Standing ovations all around. Well done, well done. All right, excellent. So, I got a lot to unpack today, guys. Now that we know exactly who's playing who, at what bowl destination and opponent, I can finally react to this. Wow, it was so refreshing to see what we saw yesterday become unveiled via the College Football Playoff Committee. But before I get to that, guys, I wanted to simply say, as always, gracias, origato, merci beaucoup, danke, and thank you, and every other thank you out there. Thank you for everything that you have done and will continue to do for the channel. We are growing at an awesome rate. Everything is trending in the right direction, guys. Subscriptions, views, likes, comments, shares, everything is going up, and up. But we need some more here on the channel, guys. My goal is I like to have 200 subscribers by the end of bowl season. Currently, as of this morning, last time I checked, we're at 166. Thanks to you. A little Sammy Sosa style there. Appreciate everything you do. Please, if you like what you see or what you hear, click the subscribe button. Let me know what you think. And I always remind you guys, I tell you this, so if this is your first time with me, I always encourage and welcome any of your participation, your comments, your involvement. I ask for them, I plead for them. Please, this is a safe haven and a gathering spot for all college football fans. You don't have to necessarily be a fan of the black and golds. Hey, after all, nobody's perfect. To enjoy the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. That's why I created this channel, as a place to celebrate all things college football. So please, throughout this episode, if you like something that you agree with, disagree with, I always ask for your comments. Please subscribe, get involved, tell your fellow college football fanatics, your coworkers, your friends, your family members, to check me out here in the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. So thank you. Let's continue to get it done. Our black and golds now officially know their bowl destinations and opponents. Missouri will be taking on Wake Forest December 23rd and in the Gasparilla Bowl down in Tampa Bay, Florida. The first ever meeting between these two teams, by the way. And Iowa will take on Kentucky. Little bit of deja vu, a rematch from last year's Citrus Bowl and an instant classic. So why don't we just go ahead and play it back one more time? But Iowa and Kentucky meet in the Music City Bowl down in Nashville, Tennessee, in Nash Vegas, December 31st. That's right, New Year's Eve. And I will have in-depth previews and predictions for each of those bowl games later on at a time to be determined. just wanted to mention that. So congratulations, Missouri and Iowa, on solid seasons and getting back to postseason play. Now, my initial thoughts on what we saw from the College Football Playoff Committee, I'm just going to go ahead and say this, guys. The College Football Playoff Committee and the 4 teams remaining at the end of the season, guess what? They got it right. I absolutely agree with the 4 teams that did receive invites and who will be participating in this year's playoff field. And I'm going to go ahead and give good reason and state my case here a little bit later in the episode. But I am more than happy with how things shook out, because to me, the 4 best, most deserving teams from start to finish of this season were rewarded and invited. And the final 4 are: number 1 seed is the Georgia Bulldogs, the SEC champions. Number 2, the Michigan Wolverines, the Big Ten Conference champions. Number 3, TCU, who came into the Big 12 title game, a perfect 12-0, but lost in overtime to Kansas State over championship weekend. And then number 4, the at-large team from the Big Ten, the Ohio State Buckeyes. So when you look at that college football playoff field, it's great once again to see some new blood, a new participant, and that's TCU. This is TCU's first ever visit to the college football playoff. Congratulations to you. I love seeing that, guys. I am one of those who was getting a little bit tired of seeing the same old story, acting like I was basically watching the same movie over and over again, knowing what the ending was going to be. But the last 2 seasons, it's been a great break from that, because as you recall, last year we had not 1, but 2 first-time playoff participants. Michigan last year, and also non-Power 5 darling Cincinnati broke the glass ceiling of the playoff field from the non-Power 5 level of college football. So it's great to see that continue once again this year, guys. I love seeing new blood and new programs and fans getting to the biggest stage in college football. It is something worth celebrating. So the hell with it. Once again, you deserve it. College football playoff field, well done. My hat's off to you. I would stand, but I'm just too damn lazy to tell you the truth. All right. So that is your official college football playoff field. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to ask you guys this, because once again, I always ask for and encourage your participation. Do you think the committee got the playoff field right? Do you think they got it wrong? Are you excited for this year's playoffs, the semifinals? Are you looking forward to these matchups? Or do you not really care? Your team's out of it. You could care less. You're ready to focus primarily on the NFL and hockey? Or are you like some who just say, you know what? Let's just hand Georgia the championship right now and everybody else can play for second place. Please comment. Let me know what you think as I kind of break this down for you, because I would love, as always, to hear from you, the Black and Gold family, the college football fandom universe. I want to hear your insights, and I promise you I will take the time sooner than later. I mean, I can't say right away because I do have a legit day job, father of 2. I'm coaching 5th grade boys basketball, my son's team, but I promise you sooner than later, I will answer your comments individually, one by one. I promise on my father's grave, I will. Trust me on that. So let me know what you think about the college football playoff field. One thing that I've got to say right out of the gate, and yes, am I a Big Ten man? Well, obviously, yes. So it is historic, this college football playoff field. It's the first time ever that the Big Ten has gotten multiple teams in the college football playoff field. And that's also the first time any other conference has done that other than the mighty SEC, which, yes, will I say this, the SEC is the best conference in the nation, the brand. Here's the thing. They are the best conference, hands down, in college football. But just because you also think they're the best brand and best conference, that they're the only conference, that is where I disagree with you. Okay? So I know, I've already heard it, I've seen it, that a lot of SEC fans, especially Alabama fans, are whining and bitching. Excuse me, I try my best not to curse here on the channel. I try to keep it PG-13, but I have labeled it as not for children, so I think I'm still okay. But Alabama fans, SEC fans, bitching, whining about, oh, how can we not have two teams in? This is robbery. This is so unfair and unjust. Well, sorry, this is the four best teams. And I'm going to say that why right now. Okay, is Alabama a really good team? Just like Tennessee? Absolutely they are. Now, if this was the expanded college football playoff field of 12, which really can't get here any sooner or quicker, then yes, they'd be in. But this season, absolutely not. Okay, Alabama, you are not a college football playoff caliber team. You don't have the resume. You don't have the data points. You just don't. Okay? But that's another reason why that expanded playoff cannot get here. I mean, Alabama then would be in, so would Tennessee, deservingly so. And then there's some other teams that we saw championship weekend that really absolutely, it's really a shame to see them out of a potential spot to win the national title. I mean, how good did Kansas State look in defeating TCU? I mean, I've been telling you guys all season, not LSU coming into championship weekend, but Kansas State was the best and is the best three-loss team in the nation. They proved it by taking down previously undefeated TCU. So Kansas State would definitely be in the 12-team playoff, deservingly so. And also, guys, finally, one of my preseason college football playoff picks who did come up a little bit short, but I'm talking, if you watched it on Friday night, how good did the Utah Utes, the two Utes, how good did Utah look? Especially the second quarter on. I mean, they flexed big time against USC. The Trojans came in ranked number 4. All they simply had to do was win, and they would be in. And they got absolutely dismantled by Utah. Now, yes, to be fair, Caleb Williams, Heisman Trophy candidate, was banged up, ended up having a legitimate hamstring injury. He gutted it out, he played. But USC got out to a quick early lead, guys. And I'm telling you, I don't think it would have mattered. The way Utah looked and played, they could have beaten anybody, and I mean anybody, in the nation on Friday night the way they played, okay? So Utah would absolutely deserve to be in, okay? So I am absolutely an expansionist. I'm glad it's going to happen. It's officially going to come to fruition and start the 2024-25 season. So we have to wait one more full season before that expanded playoff begins, and I cannot wait. And I said Heisman Trophy, guys. I mean, that's something that I'm not going to unpack on today's episode, but right now, I mean, who's going to win the Heisman Trophy? Who wants to win the Heisman Trophy? I'm going to break that down more on Thursday's episode, so I'll remind you guys, but just tune in later this week to get my Heisman lowdown, who I think is going to be my Final Four invitees and who I would hand the hardware to at this point if I had to on this day. But yeah, that's my initial thoughts on it, okay? So let me know what you think. Comment, like, share, subscribe. I want to hear from you. Get involved. Let your voice be heard, college football fans, fanatics, lovers, passionites, if that's even a word, passionites like myself. And it is an absolute pleasure to be here with you each and every week, sharing my love and passion for all things college football. So couple other things I want to go ahead and mention to today. I already told you, what and who the official college football playoff field is. I also want to go through those matchups and kind of discuss how they got here, like why are they deserving of it? And also, to a little bonus content for you today, I'm going to list my top 5 bowl matchups other than the college football playoff semifinals, and not including the bowl games of Missouri and Iowa because that would be non-objective. So I'm going to list to you my top 5 favorite bowl matchups that I'm looking forward to most during bowl season, which, as you know, being a college football fan, it's the most wonderful time of the year. It is. It's like Christmas for 2.5, 3 weeks. I love it. All right, guys, so let's look at the college football playoff semifinal matchups and how these teams got here. Both of the matchups will take place on New Year's Eve. I can't wait for this. The first matchup that day will be the Fiesta Bowl on December 31st. Number 2 Michigan versus number 3 TCU. It's simple. Michigan is here by defeating Purdue over the weekend in the Big Ten title game. And credit and hats off to Purdue guys. They played much better than I thought they would. Just some really untimely turnovers and also just too many field goals. I mean, they took their points like you should, but if they just could have got it in the end zone more consistently, this could have been a four-quarter game, guys. But congratulations to Purdue. Congratulations to Michigan. I mean, especially coming off 2 weeks ago, that big-time win on the road, the shellacking of your rival, that team to the south at Ohio State. Well done. Michigan makes back-to-back playoff appearances now. And number 3, TCU, okay? And here's something else I forgot to mention. I know some people might be complaining and say, oh, the Big 12, they're awful, they're pathetic. No. All right, no. Granted, because USC lost, this is actually what should have happened. All right, TCU guys, they win 12-0. This is a team that was forecasted to win 6.5 games. Okay, what a team! What a year for them. They were the best team in the regular season in the nation's deepest, most competitive conference. That was the Big 12 this year, guys. It wasn't the SEC, wasn't the Big 10 or the Pac-12. It was the Big 12, okay? And they lost to a really good team in overtime, all right? It was an instant classic. I thought maybe they should have maybe dropped to the 4th spot, but they still absolutely deserve to be here. They're one of the 4 best teams. They have victories over 5 ranked teams. I mean, their profile is better than anybody's in the nation. And you saw for yourself. This team could beat and compete with anybody. They can. All right? So congratulations to TCU once again. The Big 12 is legit. All right? And, okay, I'm going to say this too. All right, this is a good lead-in. I have this up here. I didn't take note of this, but I'm going to discuss this, guys. Because if you watched the Big Ten title game as I did, I watched it with my boy, Missouri fan number 1, Charlie, and on halftime, guess who showed up to lobby and state his case for why him and his team deserved a playoff bid? Well, even if you didn't see, if you probably would have said Coach Nick Saban of Alabama, you're correct. Okay, why the hell is that allowed? Okay, I get it. Does the guy have the right to come on national television and state the reasons why he thinks his team should get an invite? Of course he does. That's not the problem. But did any of you see the other team's coaches come on national television? Did you happen to see Coach Josh Heupel of Tennessee or Coach Ryan Day of Ohio State? Did you see them get some airtime or at least equal time? Anything? Exactly. The answer is no. How is that right? It is unfair, and this continues to happen. I mean, it's kind of like when I watch, because I love the college basketball tournament. I mean, nothing, man, I'm telling you, it's the greatest single event to watch. College football is the greatest sports season to watch each and every year, but the NCAA Men's Final Four, the best event to watch every year. But who do you see? I know he's retired now, and it's not really a big deal now, but if you rewind a few seasons ago, during the Final Four, when we know Duke is a blue blood, do we know Coach K is the GOAT? Is he a Hall of Famer, one of the best coaches in any sport ever? Yes. But is it fair to have commercials of him on at that time? No, it's not fair. It is an absolute recruiting tool, a benefit to the rich who only then get richer. It's the same thing having Coach Nick Saban, who is the GOAT, on, and nobody else gets a chance to state their case or to lobby. How is that fair or right? Yeah, you're right. It's not fair. And that shit's got to stop, okay? All right, and quite frankly, Josh Heupel, I'm just going to say this too. SEC fans, I'm sorry, I kind of got my blood pressure up. I'm going to start coming down now. I've said this the last few weeks, guys, and whether you want to accept it or not, but the two best teams, the best division this year in the SEC was the SEC East, guys. Georgia, hands down, is the best team in the nation. Not going to even debate that. Tennessee, when they're healthy with Hendon Hooker, those are the two best teams. Okay, and they proved it. All right? Alabama, once again, you don't deserve to get in. You didn't beat LSU. All right? You didn't beat LSU. Well, you didn't. I mean, they beat you in walk-off style in overtime. You didn't beat Tennessee, who beat you in a walk-off field goal. They're both close losses, but look at what Tennessee did. When you look at the common opponent, LSU, they went to Baton Rouge and absolutely beat those guys down. You wouldn't have beaten Georgia either. I mean, the SEC West was weaker compared to the East. All right, it just was. So Alabama, you don't deserve to get in. If anybody did, it would be Tennessee, who has the same record as you, 10-2, and they beat you head-to-head. All right, Ohio State, I'll get to them in a little bit. All right, sorry to go off on a little bit of a rant, but it's the truth. And if you don't think it is, I want to hear from an Alabama fan. I want to hear from SEC fans. Please comment. I'd love to hear your reasonings, why you think Alabama should have gotten in over somebody else, or why another SEC team should have got in. Because if there was going to be a second team, it should have definitely been Tennessee, first and foremost, okay? Not Alabama, all right? But that lobbying, it's unfair. It's got to stop, okay? It's quite actually kind of pathetic, too, to tell you the truth. When he's asked about the eye test, well, I don't really know what you mean or what the definition of the eye test is. Yeah, you do, Nick. You do. Just say, we think we're better. I mean, have you seen us play? It's okay to say those things. Whatever. Moving on. So that's the first semifinal matchup. Woo! The Fiesta Bowl. Next is the Peach Bowl, also on New Year's Eve. Number 1 Georgia, the SEC champion. I already said, hands down the best team in the nation. I mean, without a doubt, they flexed all year. Granted, only one team really pushed them, and that was our Missouri Tigers weeks ago in Como. Led them for 3.5 quarters, but they weren't able to come back and seal the deal against Missouri and Columbia. But one thing about Georgia, they didn't play Alabama in the regular season, didn't play Ole Miss. They did absolutely destroy LSU, which is another reason why the West was weaker than the East. I mean, they beat LSU 50-30. I mean, some people would say, yeah, LSU put up 30 points, but at that point, it was pretty much in cruise control for Georgia, okay? And still, the SC West champ has 4 losses now. Yeah. So SEC, you don't deserve 2 teams. I'm just tired of hearing that. You just don't. Stop being homers, okay? And don't think your shit don't stink, all right? So Georgia is in, and plus their big-time impressive win, uber impressive win week 1, non-conference victory over Georgia, 49-3. See, I put a lot into the non-conference games too, guys. And Georgia, that's the one of, if not the best non-conference victory all season for any team. So they absolutely deserve the 1 seed. And now, why number 4 Ohio State deserve to get in over Alabama or Tennessee? Ohio State has 1 loss to Michigan. Yeah, not a bad loss via ratings, right, and seedings, but definitely really got outclassed, especially in the second half. Didn't really have an answer for Michigan. but they have that impressive, solid non-conference victory over Notre Dame. Alabama doesn't have that. I mean, yes, they beat Texas. That's also a 4-loss Texas team, and they needed a walk-off field goal in Austin to win. See this, what I'm saying? These are reasons why, okay? They don't have that, okay? And Ohio State, I really like this matchup, guys. I think both of these semifinal matchups are going to be great to watch. Michigan, TCU, both want to kind of play the same type of football, very physical, and they're both second-half teams. I can't wait to watch that one. And this one here, guys, Georgia defensively is solid. Offense, you know what you're going to get. They're going to try to push you around. They're going to drag you into a phone booth. They're going to just bludgeon you and body blow after body blow. But the thing is, Ohio State has speed and athletes all over the field on the offensive side. Can they find some room? Can they get open against the Georgia secondary, which probably is their weakest spot, if there is one in that defense? Can they kind of exploit Georgia's secondary? Which I think everybody knows that Ohio State's going to put up points in that game. But can they score enough? But can they just get Georgia off the field? Can they physically stay with them? So I think this is a big-time matchup, and we've seen when you give Coach Ryan Day time to execute and plan and give him time to motivate his players after a tough loss, they come out ready to play. All right? So I cannot wait for these two matchups, guys. I just cannot wait. I'm so pumped, so excited. Bring it on. So let me know what you think about these matchups. Let me know what you think you'll be looking out for. Or once again, do you not even care? Like, hey, I'm not going to watch. I'll be boozing early on New Year's Eve, whatever. I'll watch the highlights next day when I'm in bed sleeping it off. Let me know what you think. Now, as an added bonus, I told you guys I'm going to share with you and do that right now, my top 5 bowl matchups. These are the top 5 games that I'm looking most forward to, other than the college football playoff semifinals and the bowl games, including Missouri and Iowa. And I'm going to start off with number 5 first. Number 5, the ReliaQuest Bowl, which is January 2nd, formerly the Outback Bowl, by the way. And I love this matchup because it's two teams of completely different styles of play. I'm talking about number 22, Mississippi State, versus the Illinois Fighting Illini. You've got Mississippi State, the air raid offense under stud quarterback Will Rogers. They want to throw the ball all over the yard and the field. To make a basketball analogy, they're kind of like the team that wants to play fast up and down the court. You know, old school West Coast basketball up and down. And then you've got Illinois that wants to slow you down, physically dominate, control the pace of play, reduce the possessions by the other team, more or less the half-court style team. Use another basketball analogy. Now, we don't know if running back Chase Brown is going to play for Illinois. If he doesn't, it's going to make it tough. But you just talk about the two different contrasts in style. I can't wait to watch this game, guys. Is it going to be finesse of Mississippi State or physicality of Illinois? Can't wait to watch that game. Number 4. And this one might surprise you guys. I actually almost put this one up at number 3, but I settled on 4. I'm talking about the Cure Bowl. And I love this because it's one of the first bowl games of the season. The Cure Bowl goes down December 16th, and it pits two conference champions. Number 24, Troy, the Sun Belt Conference champions, versus number 25, the Conference USA champion, UTSA, the Roadrunners. Can't wait to watch that game because of it. Two conference champions collide who are both ranked. Love that. And two players you have got to watch. You've got to watch UTSA quarterback Frank Harris, absolute stud. And you've got to watch the record breaker, the man himself, the man who put himself in the record books this season. I'm talking about Troy linebacker Carlton Martial, who this season broke the career total for tackles. He now owns it. Congratulations to Troy and UTSA on those championships, by the way. Can't wait to watch that game. Number 3, love this matchup. I'm talking about the Alamo Bowl, which goes down December 29th in the Lone Star State. Number 12, Washington versus number 20, Texas. What a matchup of styles. You've got Washington and quarterback Michael Penix Jr., the former Indiana quarterback who leads the nation in the best passing offense, take on Quinn Ewers, the quarterback of Texas. I mean, defense might be optional in this one, guys. This could be first one to 60 points could win. Two guys who aired out. I mean, granted, you've got a stud running back, too, at Texas, and Bijan Robinson. We'll see if he ends up playing or not, because we are, after all, the season of opt-out. So I can't wait to watch that game. And it means so much for both teams, but especially for the home state team of Texas. If you lose in your backyard, remember the Alamo against a Pac-12 team. That could absolutely have some trickle-down effect on recruiting. So a lot riding on that game, especially for Texas. Can't wait to watch that one on December 29th. Number 2, love this matchup. I'm talking about the Sugar Bowl, which happens New Year's Eve, December 31st. Number 5, Alabama versus number 9, Kansas State, the Big 12 champions. I've been saying all year, Alabama's solid. Not quite a college football playoff team in my perspective. And Kansas State, hands down, the best 3-loss team in the nation, taking down TCU. And quite frankly, guys, I'm just going to say this too. If there was somebody who deserved the first team out or second team out, it's probably Kansas State from what they did. I mean, their 3 losses. Look, earlier they lost against then undefeated TCU in Fort Worth by 10, but they were up the entire first half, and then both their first and second string quarterbacks went out, were dinged up. TCU came back in the second half. They lost at home against Texas. They got absolutely shellacked in that game, but both of their quarterbacks didn't play. And then they lost at home early in the season to Tulane, who's the American Athletic Conference champion. So those losses are not bad at all. All right, they're not. Okay, and also Kansas State, congratulations to, I got to say, to the former Nebraska quarterback Adrian Martinez. Great job for him. I think all Big Ten fans, especially Nebraska fans, have got to be proud of you to come back. You had a lot of tough times in Lincoln under Scott Frost and his regime. You shouldered the brunt of a lot of ridicule, but congratulations. Even though he didn't play on Saturday, he was nicked up, but it's great to see him on top as a conference champion. Congratulations, Adrian Martinez. What a great comeback season. So can't wait to watch that game, the Sugar Bowl. And of course, number 1, here it is, because I'm a purist, I'm a traditionalist, I'm a historian. It's always, no matter who's playing in it, the bowl game that I absolutely must watch. Even if I was on my deathbed, I'm talking about the one, the only, the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl on January 2nd between number 8 Utah and number 11 Penn State. I mean, Utah, I already said, I think, how they looked Friday night. They could beat and compete with anybody in the nation. And Penn State, guys, I don't quite know about this team. And I'll say this too, getting back to what I said about the expanded field of 12 earlier this episode, if I rewind, Penn State, guys, would not deserve an invite to me. Even though they're ranked number 11, I don't know who their best win is. Is it Minnesota? Actually, it's probably Purdue. They did beat Purdue the very first week of the season, a Thursday night game, but they probably should have lost that game to Purdue. I mean, Purdue had a lead very late in the fourth quarter, and if somebody just would have reminded Jeff Brom that, hey, you can run the ball to run the clock, instead of their last 13 plays from scrimmage with a lead trying to protect it and use the clock, they only pass 11 out of those 13. So, yeah, I'm not sold on this Penn State team. They lost to Michigan, lost to Ohio State. I just don't know how good this team is. So that shows right there I'm not some Big Ten homer. Penn State, to me, would not belong in an expanded field. They just wouldn't. They've proven nothing to me, okay? So that's my top 5 bowl matchups that I'm looking forward to other than the playoffs and the Missouri and Iowa games. Let me know what bowl games, matchups you're looking most forward to. Comment, like, share, subscribe, click the button. And that's it for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thursday will be my next episode, so be looking for it. It's going to be a good one. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of house cleaning on Thursday. I'm going to provide you with my final Heisman Trophy update and my official invitees. If I was the one who was handing out invites, these would be the 4 that I would invite to NYC for a chance to hoist the most coveted award in all of college football, the Heisman Trophy Award. Also, kind of give you some updates on headlines. Going to give you some updates on the ongoing coaching carousel, what's transpired the last few weeks. This coach is out, this coach is in, bring you up to speed and in the know on that. And also going to give you a pretty solid transfer portal update. And there's things that are going to affect both of our black and golds big time, especially Iowa for the bowl season and for next season. And that's not going to be every single team, okay? That would be an entire episode itself. We're going to go through some of the power players, some of the impact players who are leaving, and some that have already signed at new destinations. So definitely check that out on Thursday, guys. So until then, thank you once again for your time, your attention, your support. It's much appreciated. Continue. Get the word out there. Comment, like, share, subscribe. 200 subs is what we're looking for. Please help a brother out. It is the holiday season, so pass it on to me if you'd love to. I've been very good this season. So thank you once again. I'll see you guys Thursday, and I appreciate your time here on the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. See you Thursday. Bye-bye.